You reach for a piece of fruit thinking you're making a healthy choice for your body, but what if that healthy fruit is secretly contributing to your leg pain, your joint stiffness, and your low energy? Today we are going to uncover the grapefruit paradox. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to help us navigate this very surprising topic, we are joined by a physician who has spent over a century studying how the aging body responds differently to the foods we eat. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. This is a very important conversation. We must understand that an aging body becomes more sensitive. A fruit that was once a friend to your body can sometimes become an irritant if it contains too much sugar or too much acid. The wisdom is not to fear fruit, but to learn how to choose the gentle ones that will support your health at this stage of your life.
And that is exactly our mission for you today. We are not here to give you a long list of foods you can no longer eat. Instead, we have structured this guide as a series of smart swaps. For each potentially problematic fruit that we discuss, Dr. Hinohara will explain the risk, and then he will immediately reveal a delicious and healing swap that you can enjoy in its place. It is a true blessing to have the wisdom to make these smart choices and to be able to better care for the bodies we've been given. If you are ready to learn how to choose the right fruits to keep your legs strong and pain-free, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this guide is full of practical and very positive solutions. Okay, doctor, let's get right into your smart swaps. What is the first category of fruits that can be problematic for seniors, and what are their healthier alternatives?
We will begin with the fruits that are very high in natural sugar. While this sugar is natural, an aging body, especially one that is less active, cannot process large amounts of sugar as efficiently as it once could, and this can become a source of daily inflammation. Our first problem fruit is one that many people love for its sweet tropical flavor. It is the mango.
The mango. That will be a surprise to many people as it's so often included in healthy smoothies and fruit salads. Let's talk about the science. Why can a mango be a problem for a senior's legs and joints?
It is simply a matter of concentration. A ripe mango is a delicious fruit, but it is a sugar bomb.
That is a good way to put it. A ripe mango is very high in a type of sugar called fructose. When a large amount of fructose from a fruit like a mango hits your system all at once, it can overwhelm your liver and your metabolic system. This causes a very large and rapid blood sugar and insulin spike, which, as we now know, is a direct trigger for the inflammation that causes so much of the chronic joint pain and stiffness in the legs and hips.
Exactly. So, the smart swap here is to replace the high sugar mango with a delicious low sugar and powerfully anti-inflammatory fruit. The best choice is our first healing swap, a beautiful bowl of mixed berries, such as blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. I had a patient, a woman in her early 70s, who just loved sweet tropical fruits. She would eat a large mango or a lot of pineapple almost every single day, but she was suffering from a great deal of inflammatory pain in her hips and in her knees. We made one very simple swap. I asked her to replace her daily bowl of mango with a simple bowl of mixed fresh or frozen berries for her dessert. She was very consistent with this. After about a month, she came back to my office and told me that the constant nagging ache in her hips had noticeably improved. The berries were giving her that touch of sweetness that she enjoyed, but they were doing so without fueling the fire of her inflammation.
And that is because, as you said in the source material, berries are absolutely packed with powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the very compounds that give them their deep red, blue, and purple colors, and they are some of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory compounds we know of.
So we swap the mango for the berries. Our next problem fruit in this high sugar category is the grape.
And the problem with grapes, again, is the concentrated fructose. But it can create a different and very specific problem in the joints. As the source material you shared points out, when your liver is overwhelmed with a large dose of fructose, one of the byproducts it can produce is excess uric acid. High levels of uric acid in the blood can form sharp, painful crystals in your joints. This is the direct cause of the excruciating pain of gout, which often affects the big toe, but it can also irritate other joints in the feet and ankles that are already dealing with arthritis.
So the smart swap for a large bowl of grapes is our second healing swap, a small measured handful of cherries, especially tart cherries. They have a wonderful sweet flavor, but they have been shown in many clinical studies to actually help the body lower its levels of uric acid. It is the perfect replacement.
Now, doctor, what about another very common high-sugar fruit that is in almost every kitchen in America, the banana?
The banana is a special case. It is also very high in sugar and can certainly cause problems if it is eaten alone on an empty stomach. However, it is also very rich in the mineral potassium, which is very important for preventing leg cramps. So for the banana, the wisdom is not necessarily to swap it out completely, but to be very smart about how you eat it.
And that means, as we've discussed on Healthier Daily before, always pairing it with a source of protein or a healthy fat. Adding a few banana slices to your bowl of plain Greek yogurt or to your oatmeal with chia seeds will dramatically slow down the absorption of its sugar. This allows you to get all the wonderful benefits of the potassium without the dangerous blood sugar spike. So, doctor, the key takeaway from that first group of smart swaps is to trade out the very high sugar fruits like mangoes and grapes for lower sugar, powerfully anti-inflammatory options like berries and cherries. What is the next category of problematic fruits that our viewers should be aware of?
Our next problem fruit is one that many people believe is perfectly safe and healthy because it is mostly made of water. It is the great symbol of summer in America, the watermelon.
And you are right, doctor. People see it as a light, hydrating, and guilt-free treat. But the secret, as you pointed out in the source material for this video, is its incredibly high glycemic index. Can you explain what that means for a senior?
It means that the sugar in the watermelon is absorbed into the bloodstream very, very quickly.
That's exactly right. Even though watermelon feels light and airy, the type of sugar it contains is absorbed into your bloodstream almost as rapidly as if you were eating pure glucose. For a senior whose insulin regulation system may be less efficient than it was years ago, this creates a very large and very inflammatory blood sugar spike. This can lead directly to that feeling of profound leg tiredness or a dull aching pain in the knees and ankles shortly after you eat it. It is a charming trap, as the source text says.
So if a person is looking for a hydrating and sweet fruit, a much wiser choice is our next healing swap. It is the simple, humble pear.
And the pear is a much smarter choice because while it is also sweet and hydrating, it is absolutely packed with soluble fiber. This fiber acts like a sponge in your digestive system, and it dramatically slows down the absorption of the fruit's natural sugar. This gives your body a gentle, sustained release of energy instead of that inflammatory spike and crash that you can get from the watermelon. The pear works in harmony with an aging metabolism, while the watermelon can sometimes be a shock to it.
So we swap the watermelon for the pear. Our next problem fruit is perhaps the most common breakfast fruit in all of America. especially when it is in the form of juice. It is the orange. I had a patient, a woman in her early 70s with moderate osteoarthritis. Her biggest complaint was a deep, painful stiffness in her hips and in her knees every single morning when she woke up. She was a woman of routine, and for 40 years, her routine had been to start her day with a large glass of orange juice because she believed it was the healthiest thing she could do to get her vitamin C. I suggested a simple experiment. I asked her to stop drinking the orange juice for just 2 weeks and instead to have a small bowl of fresh papaya. She was very reluctant to change the habit of a lifetime, but she agreed to try. She came back 2 weeks later, and she told me she was amazed. The deep, painful morning stiffness in her hips had significantly improved. For her sensitive, already inflamed joints, that daily dose of acid from the oranges was acting like a constant low-level irritant.
That is a fascinating story, and it highlights a point that is very important for people who are already struggling with arthritis. The citric acid in oranges, while perfectly natural and fine for most people, can act as an irritant in a joint that is already in a state of chronic inflammation. It is like squeezing lemon juice on a small cut on your skin. It stings. For a joint that is already raw and inflamed with arthritis, that daily acidic onslaught can prevent it from ever fully calming down.
And the healing swap that you suggested for her papaya is the perfect, gentle, and soothing alternative.
It really is. Not only is papaya much less acidic and gentler on the digestive system, but it also contains a very special enzyme called papain. Papain is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory in its own right. So while the acid in the orange might have been irritating her joints, the natural enzymes in the papaya were actively helping to soothe them. It is a beautiful and very intelligent swap. It's another example of the incredible variety and wisdom we have been blessed with in nature. There is always a gentle healing alternative to be found if we look for it. And we love sharing these alternatives with our community all around the world. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So we've learned to swap the high glycemic watermelon for the high fiber pear and the acidic orange for the soothing enzyme-rich papaya. Doctor, let's cover the final swaps on our list of problematic fruits for seniors.
Our next problem fruit is one that many people choose specifically because they believe it is the healthier option due to its less sweet taste. It is the green apple.
And it is true that green apples are often less sweet than many red apple varieties. But as you pointed out in the source material for this video, they can still be a problem for a sensitive body for two main reasons. First, they still contain a significant amount of natural sugar that can affect an older person's blood sugar. And second, that distinctive tart sour flavor comes from a very high concentration of malic acid. Just like the citric acid we discussed in oranges for a person who has already inflamed joints from arthritis, this high dose of malic acid can act as a gentle but persistent daily irritant.
So for a person who is looking for a fruit that is very low in sugar and is powerfully anti-inflammatory, I recommend our final healing swap. And yes, I know it is technically a fruit, and it is one of my personal favorites. It is the majestic avocado.
The avocado is a true superfood for joint health and a perfect swap for a more irritating fruit. The magic of the avocado is in its high content of healthy monounsaturated fats. These specific fats are incredibly anti-inflammatory. They help to calm the fire in the body at a deep cellular level. And many people report that they also provide a natural cushioning and lubricating feeling for their joints. Swapping out a sugary or an acidic fruit for half of a creamy, nourishing avocado is one of the smartest and most beneficial choices a person with joint pain can possibly make.
Now, our final fruit today is a very special and sometimes very confusing case. It is the pineapple. On one hand, as we have discussed it, is very high in sugar and acid, which can be a problem for many people. But on the other hand, it contains a very famous and very powerful anti-inflammatory enzyme.
That's right. That famous enzyme is called bromelain. Bromelain is such a powerful natural anti-inflammatory that it is often extracted and sold in supplement form to help people with joint pain. So this creates a paradox. The fruit contains something that helps your joints, and it also contains things, the sugar and the acid, that can potentially hurt your joints.
So my advice here is one of great caution and of moderation. A very small amount of fresh pineapple, eaten only occasionally, may be fine for some people, but you must listen very carefully to your body to see how it responds. And there is a very important medical warning that we absolutely must share with our viewers.
Yes, this is the same critical safety warning that we have given in other videos on Healthier Daily when we have discussed pineapple. The enzyme bromelain has a significant blood thinning effect. If you are taking any anticoagulant or antiplatelet medication, and this includes common prescription drugs like warfarin, Xarelto, or Plavix, and it also includes something as common as a daily low dose or baby aspirin, you must speak with your doctor before you start eating pineapple regularly. The combination of the bromelain and your medication can make your blood too thin, and this can significantly increase your risk of dangerous bruising or bleeding. This is not a small risk. It is a very serious one that must be respected. It is a powerful reminder that even the blessed gifts from nature must be used with great wisdom, with great care, and always in a respectful partnership with our doctors. Doctor, this has been an incredible and very eye-opening guide. You've taught us that the key to feeling better is not about giving up fruit, but about making smart swaps. It is a powerful and very positive way to manage daily joint pain. By swapping out the high sugar and potentially acidic fruits for gentle low sugar and anti-inflammatory options like berries, pears, and papaya, we can take real control of our diet. This is a powerful and very practical strategy for better senior health. By making these simple swaps, our viewers can begin to reduce the chronic inflammation that is so often at the root cause of their joint pain. This knowledge is so empowering and is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a daily way to fight back against the stiffness and the discomfort of joint pain and to live a more active and vibrant life.
I want to leave everyone watching with this one final thought. Growing older does not mean that you must surrender to pain. It means that you must become wiser in your daily choices. A simple swap on your plate is a powerful act of wisdom. It is a message that you send to your body that you are listening and that you are choosing to support its healing.
That is a beautiful message, Doctor. A powerful act of wisdom. It's about being a good steward of our health, making conscious choices about the wonderful foods we've been blessed with, and choosing the ones that serve our bodies best at this unique stage of our lives. And of course, the wisest first step is always to speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions like arthritis or diabetes. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes. If you found this guide empowering and are excited to try some of these swaps, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information. And be sure to share it with a friend or a family member who might be struggling with joint pain and could use some hopeful news. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, what is one smart fruit swap that you are going to try making this week? Please share your plan in the comments below. Your commitment can be an inspiration to our entire community. Thank you for being with us. Be well.